So it is Monday. Happy Monday. Some inspirational for you guys, some mindset. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful week, and then manifest blessing in your week this week, man. Manifest great things in your week. No matter what comes your way, no matter what problems you face, man, you can get over it, like I mentioned. So it's all about mindset. You're tested a lot of times for a reason. They say the devil tests you a lot of time, but again, I feel like you get tested, and if you're able to overcome those tests, if you're able to overcome whatever adversaries throw at you, whatever darts is thrown at you, if you're able to get through that with faith and work, I believe everybody's going to be good. So let's get to market analysis real quick. Before I get to some market analysis, I'm going to check ForEx Factory for a second. One thing I noticed, ForEx Factory has two floaters this week in ForEx Factory. Today's the 19th, Friday, today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Monday, September 19th, there's no floater, but I do see a floater on Wednesday. And Wednesday's floater comes in at 2:30 p.m. or starting at 2 o'clock. You got a FOMC meeting. And again, for you guys who check ForEx Factory, you guys could actually, to see what these folders represent, you can actually click on the folder and identify what it speaks about. So for example, let's look at this one that says FOMC statement or federal fund rate. So there's a lot of things that's going to be talked about at 2 o'clock and 2:30. So if we're looking at the funds rate, if you click on the actual folder, it tells you what it is. It tells you that it is interest rate at which depository institution lend balances. This is talking about the different interest rates and how it's going to increase. And it actually says, why do traders care? You can read about that as well. It says short-term interest rates are the paramount factor in currency valuation. So traders look at most other indicators merely to predict how rates will change in the future. So when you guys are looking at these red folders in future, in ForEx Factory, if you have no idea what they're talking about, you can literally click on the folder and read through it and read to see, okay, what does a negative number mean versus a positive number? How can that affect the market? So that can kind of give you some information about news. So that's Wednesday. In addition to Wednesday, I think another folder is on not until Friday. So there were two folders I believe I saw on Friday, the 23rd. So here you can see one at 9:45 a.m. is the flash service PMI. And there's another folder at 2 p.m., which is Powell speaks again at 2 p.m. on Friday. So just kind of be careful as you guys go through this week with those folders coming up Wednesday and Friday. Now, let me jump to, I like to look at momentum before I even get started, as I mentioned to you guys. Hopefully, momentum has been helping you understand how the market moves. I know I remember for me, one of my main lessons, I would say a lesson will be, it was a momentum trade that I took. And ever since I took that momentum trade, for me, that was one way for me to understand, okay, momentum is important. That's why I need to go back to ensure that I read momentum and then knowing how to calculate momentum as it relates to the stock market. Do I utilize momentum the same way? Now that I use it, I use my mathematics background and, how I teach momentum in classes or how I've learned momentum in science and physics. I've used those concepts, and that's how I was able to actually grasp the concept of momentum with my calculation. But for those who are not math savvy, for those who may not like math, and again, me being a special educator as well, anything I teach or anything I've learned, I know that I have to ensure to differentiate. And what do I mean by differentiate? There are people that not everybody learn the same. Again, not everybody have the same learning style. So there's different ways that information must be presented to everyone so everyone could actually learn and meet the need of all learners. So what I've done after I've calculated momentum, I went ahead and found a differentiated strategy to help those who may not learn the same way so they can actually understand how to view momentum. And this is why I tell you guys to go ahead and look at the Dow. This is pre-market, but if you're looking at the U.S. market, every time I tell you guys to use this to kind of gauge what momentum has been doing. I've been using the pointage, but I also have been using percentages. I know a lot of people it's been actually helping, and that's just from my data point. So let me jump into the market real quick. I won't be on here long. I'm going to definitely log off before the market opens. I'll probably just predict what it will do and then allow you guys to trade. I am going to not start with the VIX. I'm going to start with the futures to see where we are right now. This is YM futures, just to kind of see what's been happening. So futures opened up last night, and when it did open up, matter of fact, it was green. So we were going up. Let me go down to the 15 minutes so you guys can see what happened. So last night at 6 p.m., the futures market opened, and as it opened up, actually was bullish for a minute. So it opened around here, and you can see that it became, today is 16. So it started going up a bit bullish on the 18th. You can see But then what happened, it met a 4-hour zone that I already initially plotted prior, and it met that 4-hour zone and then started trading down since then. So right now, futures is bearish right now. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go into my 4-hour and I'm going to create some other additional. So I just created this 4-hour zone here to watch to see how the futures react to it. I see a nice little chart pattern here. I'm going to draw this pattern here. I see a bull flag, a bear. Excuse me, what is this? A bear flag. I'm going to go ahead and draw that bear flag. You can see just to kind of keep myself noted. So you can see the bear flag here. Price keep coming down. So I'm going to watch that. So right now, futures is trading lower. However, because futures is sitting again, remember this nice little area that I spoke about, which is a triple demand zone. I have a daily, monthly, and a weekly demand zone. In addition to that, now a new 4-hour zone. So the quadruple zone, I'm just going to be able to watch to see what the market is doing. Can I predict what the market does? No, nobody can. I believe that if anybody can predict where price is going or what price will be doing, we'll be rich by now. So what I can do is utilize what I have, what resources I have, my mathematics, and calculate, and just go ahead and watch those calculations and see what happened. And as I see how the market reacts to it, then I'll go back and I'll reflect on those calculations and just kind of write notes about what I'm seeing. And that's a part of my data collection process. So again, me being a math teacher, data collection is important, especially with special education as well. Data is important. So that's why I am. So as you can see right now, market is somewhat trending down, but it's sitting really for me in a nice area. So again, for me, I like to see what happens. So for me, I'm looking for confluences. So if you guys trade from the depending on what zone you trade from or what time frame rather you trade from, whatever time frame you trade from, just kind of look at those time frame and do your math with that. So for futures, I'm seeing we're still down a little bit. So let me go to ES real quick and see what ES is doing. And then I'm going to jump over. Before we get up, I'm going to actually give you guys the values for SPY as I promised as well, since you guys are here live. So same thing for SPY, where I'm down. It did start up as well. Let me go ahead and see if I see any type of nice zone I can do. This one also had a flag. So I drew that one with some trend lines bouncing from it. I have this new zone that I'm going to form. So seeing how price is literally sitting here and collecting in these zones. However, I do have some zones below. So what for me today will be important is just kind of momentum is going to play a part for me today. And the reason being is, again, we're sitting here inside of a nice demand zone for most of the indices. There's a lot of demand in this area, different time zones. So from weekly to 4-hour to 1 day to monthly. So we're sitting in an area that should be a lot of demand. So my goal, or what I'm looking for, my speculation, is to see. We knew that, especially back in SPS, there was a nice force that came last week that actually turned momentum. And again, as you think about it, momentum, in order for momentum to change direction, there has to be a force that's applied on momentum. And again, this is physics. In order for momentum or the velocity to change direction, it has to be some type of force that is act upon momentum in order for it to change direction. All right. So we noticed that there was some type of force here that changed the direction. In my opinion, the force has been the triple zone, changing the direction of momentum. And you can see momentum is down now. So let me jump to, if you trade NASDAQ, I'm going to do a quick analysis for NASDAQ real quick to see. Same thing for NASDAQ. NASDAQ is coming down into a nice area. Everything down here is demand for me. So as I look at the market and what I watch for, I watch to see, okay, the force from this supply zone, is this force enough to drive this way down? Or because again, remember, as force hit, it depends on it tells you how far. It tells you how far an object will travel based on the force that was placed upon it. It would tell you how far the object is supposed to travel, along with when it's supposed to rest and pull back. So that's one thing I always tell you guys: get in the habit of momentum, study momentum, go to your old physics book and see how momentum is calculated and how it operates, and that will help you to understand somewhat of where momentum is taking price. So let me jump down to, so that's NASDAQ also in a demand zone, a lot of it. I have Russell right here, the Russell 2000, that's also passing through its first daily demand zone. Somewhat I actually like this one better as a demand, but I'm going to keep it. But it's passing through, so now it's approaching, this is Russell, it is approaching a weekly demand zone in addition to a daily. So it's a somewhat of a double. I'm sure there's a 4-hour there, but I haven't tapped into it. So let me look at the VIX real quick, and I'm going to look at SPX and drop you some spots for you guys. So the VIX is actually still, for some reason, been literally consolidating in this area. It dropped a little bit, it came back up, and then it's kind of still consolidating. So it did break through all these 1 hour I had above. So I'm going to definitely erase these in a second. But the VIX is still sitting. Let me go down to a 1 hour and see where it is. What does it look like? The VIX is now sitting still inside of that daily demand supply zone. Still rejecting from that. So in this 1 hour zone was the highest it went. So for me right now, 28.15 is still my value on the VIX that I'm looking. If the VIX closes above this level to see, and pushes higher, then to look to see the market pushes lower. So that's 28.15 for the VIX on the upside. On the downside, I'm still looking to see if VIX is going to close below 25.19 on the downside. And again, that's going to be why we see the VIX has been literally trading between those two ranges for the past couple of weeks. You see some consolidation. Let me go down to SPX real quick. You guys should already have received my potential highs and lows for XPX. Let me go to the daily. XPX right now. I like XPX, and the reason why I like it because it formed one of my favorite candlestick pattern, which is this pin, which is a hammer. And again, a hammer, is a bullish pattern or is a bullish reversal pattern. However, it also can be a continuation pattern based on where it is formed. So location is important. So this hammer for me is important because one is formed. So for me right now is to determine or decipher whether this is do some more research. Will this be a potential reversal or will this be a continuation based on where it's formed? For me, again, it's formed literally in a nice zone or a nice triple, quadruple zone. So it's formed right here in a 4 hour, a daily, and a weekly. We're almost to the monthly. A little bit is somewhere down in some a daily gap somewhere in the vicinity. So for me, this hammer is going to be important for me. Again, for me, I like to wait for pullbacks. I like to wait for confirmation. I will go down to a lower time frame and get confirmation before I step in the market. So that is SPX. For those of you guys on here, let me go ahead and give you guys the SPY values real quick before I jump off. So let me give you SPY, SPY. So if you do trade SPY, my potential low ranges for SPY, and again, this is not, as I mentioned, disclaimer, not financial advice. This is not any type of trading advice. This is just me solely. This is for educational purposes only. This is me giving you what I've calculated. Again, using mathematics and sit here and do some calculation, go back and test those equations and see what's going on. So once I come up with an equation, I just utilize that equation and plug the formulas in. So for SPY, the potential low range for SPY is 380 to 377. So that's 380 to 377. That is my potential low range. And again, this is not definite. This is just where I'm speculating price may stay within that range. And again, this is solely based on momentum. It is also based on where price open. If price gaps down to open, where does it open? If price gaps up to open, where does it open? Because it has an effect on where it's going to adjust my potential highs and low based on what direction momentum is. So again, I'm going to repeat that one more time. Potential low for SPY for today, I have 380 to 377. And my potential high range, I have 391. That's 391 to 394. That is my potential high for SPY. For one standard deviation value, I have 393. And that is SPY. One standard deviation is 393. For the zero standard deviation, I have 385.63. 385.63. And then for negative one standard deviation, I have 378. That's 378. I'm going to repeat that one more time. And again, for you guys that hear it, hopefully you have. For me, I like to repeat. Repetition is one thing I have to do as a special education teacher. I have to repeat to ensure that everyone grasps it. In addition to that, I know I speak fast. I'm Jamaican. I can't help it. So I'm going to pause, let you guys process it. I'm going to repeat it one more time. So this is my analysis for SPY for today. These are the levels I'm watching SPY to potentially remain in. And again, this is based on momentum. These values are only accurate based on momentum, how strong momentum is, what direction momentum is going, whether we're consolidating versus whether we're going up, whether we're going down. That has to be plays a part. So once the market opens and I'm able to confirm momentum direction, it will allow me to know whether I need to recalculate these potential highs or potential lows. So potential low range for SPY, 380. That's 380 to 377. So somewhere in that range, SPY, I'm speculating that to be the low range where price will hit low. And for the high range, And then that's based on if momentum is down for the higher range. If momentum is up for some reason and price is going up, I'm looking for SPX to be contained. I'm sorry, this is SPY, SPY to be contained in 391. That's 391 to 394. So 391 to 394. That is my potential high for SPY. Now for one SPY standard deviation, I'm going to give you just three values today. I'm going to give you 0, 1, and -1. So then I'm going to start with 0. Zero standard deviation is 385.63. That is 385.63. 1 standard deviation is 393. That is 393. And then finally, -1 standard deviation is 378. That's 378. So what I'm going to do real quick for the next 5 minutes, so I'm going to wait for the market for the next 3 minutes or so. Any particular question you guys have, again, I have the chat now in the market analysis chat. I'm going to flip over to that. If you guys have any questions, I did get some question in the market analysis chat. If you guys have any you want to ask, you can, and I can respond to it on air. Let me go to that chat real quick and see if I can answer those questions. But other than that, man, you guys are going to be having a nice day trading. Be sure to be safe if you trade every day. If you're a person that trades in and out of the market daily, be sure to, again, as I mentioned, notice and watch momentum. Momentum is going to be important for you if you trade in and out of the market daily, because, again, you're literally trading a candle. So if you're a daily trader, and this is the candle that happened Friday, take a look at this. So if you're in here making money, if you're trying to trade, whatever your trading style is, whether you're trading for income, whether you're trading long-term, whether you just swing trade, whatever your trading style is, know that you're trading, right? So if you're trading literally every day for money, that means that one candle, this one candle here that we saw on Friday, this is the candle that you're trading every day. You're trading this one candle to see, okay, how can I get some money out of this one candle? What does that mean? That means you may have to dial down to a smaller time frame and do intraday trade. However, if you're swinging, meaning you're going from one level to the next, so you're going to hold it. A lot of times, if I'm a swing trader, I will swing trade typically a daily candle. I like to swing trade the weekly candle. So what does that mean? I'm looking at the week and see, okay, what's going on for the week. So the same day I can calculate the potential highs and lows for the days, I can also do that for the week. I can also do that calculation and calculate, okay, how far do I see price, or how far am I speculating price to go for that entire week? So that means for me, if I'm going to swing trade and I'm saying, okay, today is Monday and I want to swing trade and I want to see, okay, I'm going to stay in my position for a week. I'm just going to use that as plain example. This is not what I'm doing right now, but I'm just going to use an example. If I'm going to stay in for a week, I'm going to look at a weekly candle to see, okay, what's going on. Or I may look at a few weekly candles if I want to swing for a few days and see what's going on. And then I'm going to do the calculation to see, okay, from where current price is, what's going to be the potential high for the next week and what's going to be the potential low for the next week, taking momentum, volatility, everything into consideration. And then I will go down to the daily chart and then look for my entry on the daily time frame. And that's where I would chart my daily zones and particularly enter from my daily zones and allow that to swing. So that's one thing you guys can do. So one thing we'll know as far as where we're going to be opening today, I'm hoping you guys could know this by now. So I want y'all to actually drop it in the chat. Where y'all think price will open today? Are we going to open around the same place? Are we going to gap up? Are we going to gap down? Where you guys think price will open today based on where futures is right now? Let me show you let me go to YM right now, futures. So looking at YM, I want you guys to start, again, getting in the habit of understanding where price may open. So take a look at YM real quick. Futures closed on Friday. We closed at 30, and this is YM futures. We closed at 39.22. So that's 30,922. That's where we closed for futures YM. Right now, price is currently at 30,652. So now with those two numbers in place, hopefully you guys are able to understand, okay, now that I see where future closed at on Friday and where it's currently trading right now, where do I speculate the U.S. market to open? Am I going to think it's going to open around where it closed on Friday? Is XPX or Dow or NASDAQ or Russell or Apple or any other thing, SPY, whatever you ticker you trade, Boeing, anything, where do I think it's going to open today based on where futures is right now? So again, futures on Friday closed at 30,922. And right now it's currently trading at, right now the price is 30,652. So with that information being said, and we literally have 1 minute, where do we open? So my speculation, hopefully you guys know where it is. My speculation, we're going to gap down to open. And again, once we gap down, ensure that you look at the standard deviation. Are we going to gap down more than one standard deviation or below -1? Are we going to gap down only -0.5? Because that will allow you guys to understand how to adjust your values in the event to watch momentum. So I'm going to watch and see where price open up. Let me jump back to SPX. And then from there, actually, let me bring over my standard D. And now that the market is open, let's see where price opened up. As you can see right now, SPX just went ahead and gap down to open, like I said. Let me go to the 1 hour, the 15 minutes. And again, that's how you guys could have an understanding of how price opens. So here's where price opened on SPX today. We close here and we open down here. So we gap down to open, as I mentioned. And with that being said, I will tell you exactly how many standard deviation we gap down. That way you guys could actually utilize that in your mathematics and do some calculation if you need to. So with that being said, you guys have a wonderful trading, man. Happy trading. Use the market analysis chat if you have any question, if you have anything that you want to share with the group. And I will see you guys on the other side. Happy trading today, and be safe, be wise, and ensure you do not make any errors. Expecting great things. If you were thinking, why don't you release a shot right there?